the Civic Auditorium in San Jose, California, the International Roller Skating League presents the San Francisco Bay Bombers in action against the Midwest Pioneers. Hi, I'm Ken Kunzelman at trackside, along with Nick Skopas to bring you the play-by-play. We're in the first period of action. The score right now, the Midwest Pioneers 7 and the Bay Bombers 2.
Kenny, it looks like we're going to have a good one here tonight.
So far, a jam-packed crowd here at the Civic Auditorium in San Jose. This is the first period of action, the first half of the game, and fans along the network, we do remind you that you will see the second half of this game in your next telecast hours. So wherever you are along the network, be sure to look up your schedule, see when that will be. And we would like to welcome the fans in the greater New York area and out on Long Island joining us this week for the
Oh boy, right back home again.
Hometown for Nick Skopas. Okay, on this jam now we have number 31, Pam Harrison, out for the Bay Bombers. And so far, Harrison is the only one moving. And the Bombers, Nick, need to have those jammers out there in that manner. They're trailing by 5 points early in this game.
Yeah, Pioneers opened up right on them at the first jam of the game. They picked up 7 big ones.
Okay, now, the Bomber jammer, Pam Harrison, number 31, moving in at the rear of the pack. They're on defense for the Midwest Pioneers. Their women's captain, J.J. Burton, number 58. Burton, a wrapping elbow on Harrison. Harrison, the only scoring threat here. The Bombers are strictly on offense. The Pioneers strictly on defense. J.J. Burton, number 58, handling the blocking at the rear of the pack for the Pioneers. Harrison slowed down as she tries to move on the outside. Sharp elbows there by the veteran J.J. Burton. Burton with another block. Joni Weston back for the Bombers now, an assist. Burton taken out. Harrison moving. Time of this jam running out. Harrison to the inside will have additional points. And the official ruling, Nick Skopas, there are 2 Bay Bomber points. Pam Harrison scoring. So it's a 7-4 game now. The Bombers closing ground a bit. There's Joan Weston down on the track. We have Bill Grohl to the left of your screen. Bob Hine, the coach of the Pioneers, to the right of your screen.
Bob Hine ran up to get in between Weston and one of the defensive girls on the Pioneer team. And looked like he ran into Weston, which set Billy Grohl off a little bit.
Things are hot in the men's field, and
yeah, they're getting hot during the girls'
even on the track.
Yeah.
Again, it's a 7-4 game now. The Midwest Pioneers. There's Bob Hine on the infield, veteran coach of the Pioneers. Trying to get the pack reformed now for another play. The Bombers are trailing now by 3 points, 7-4. There's the women's captain for the Bay Bombers, Joni Weston, putting her pivot helmet back on. She will join the pack in front. At the start of each play, the pivots are, with the black helmets, are at the front of the pack. The blockers with the solid colored helmets in the middle, and the jammers with the striped helmets have to start from the rear of the pack. The first jammer to break from the pack starts the 1-minute jam time running. And it'll be the Midwest Pioneers with their women's captain, number 58, J.J. Burton, breaking out. And the Bombers so far, without a jammer, now they break a jammer out. Way behind is Debbie Shagoya. And she's got a brand new jersey tonight, does not have numbers on it yet, but that is J.J. Burton in the lead. Debbie Shagoya for the Bombers moving up. Burton will wait for Shagoya to make a move. At the rear of the pack, Joni Weston will be there to do the defensive blocking for the Bombers.
Burton waiting for the young bomber to come up.
Blocking on the outside now.
25 seconds left.
Weston a block on J.J. Burton. Look out. Shagoya almost getting by the inside on Connie Haynes, number 50, or Linda Johnson, number 57. Block in there again.
15 seconds left.
A little over 10 seconds remaining in this jam now. Blocked up on the rail. Number 57, Linda Johnson, handling the defensive blocking. And I believe Shagoya has got away from Johnson. Johnson may be saying something about skate trouble. I'm not sure. Weston continuing to work on J.J. Burton out there. And the jam has been called off. We'll wait for the official ruling now. Referees James Pierce to your right. He's the head referee, and Don Light to your left. There will be 2 Bomber points awarded to the jammer, and that is rookie Debbie Shagoya.
That was
Nick
her
Skopas,
first jam.
First jam, her first professional game, and what a thrill that's got to be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that really kind of gets to you. You know, you want to do well when you get out there, and then to pick up a couple of points on the first jam, that's great.
And an 8-6 game. The crowd here in San Jose responding now as the public address announcer, Hugh Kendall, announces that those were Debbie Shagoya's first points as a pro.
And the girl that nailed her on the inside was that Connie Lyman, who's skating her first game too. So they're all pretty alert out there.
2 minutes and 28 seconds.
8-6 game right now. Midwest Pioneers leading the Bay Bombers by 2 points, 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Kenny, I don't want to, you know, speak out of turn here, but that girls' field is pretty beefy, isn't it?
It sure is. Bombers are going to have their hands full. Little Carol Peanuts Maya, number 37, breaking out for the Bombers now. The Midwest Pioneers will have Joyce Young, number 50, on the chase. But it's all up to Peanuts Maya, number 37. She's got the lead, and Meyer going for the rear of the pack now. Joan Weston trying to get an assist in here. Weston reaching back. Burton goes the wrong way. Meyer ducks to the inside, pulls it off. And there is one Bay Bomber point. Carol Peanuts Meyer scoring. There she is up on the rail.
That was a fine play. They were all moving on that one.
Yeah. J.J. Burton not too happy with the outcome of it. It's an 8-7 game. The Bombers now are trailing by only 1 point.
Joni faked me out. I thought she was going to whip her right around the outside. They were going fast enough, it seemed to me.
Yeah, I thought so too. The way Meyer took off and was really barreling in at the rear of the pack, he thought Weston would either lead the way or there would be a whip when she reached back. This pack reforming now for what will probably be the last jam in this first skating period.
Just goes to show you we don't know everything, do we?
Darn near, but not quite.
I know. We are good. I'm glad we're saying it because nobody else has, you know.
There is less than a minute on the clock now. So this will be the last jam of the period. The Bombers trailing by 1 point. Coming back from quite a deficit. They trailed by 5 points very early in the game. A surprise off the line from the Midwest Pioneers. Pack is together now. This will be a race. Time in the period is time on the scoreboard. About 35 seconds now. And the Jammers having trouble breaking loose. And Willie Ryan, number 36 for the Bombers, the first to break out. There she is. And Pioneers have one jammer out. She's outnumbered as there's a secondary bomber out there also. But here it is. Willie Ryan comes in. 15 seconds. Joni Weston. A whip. Ryan on the outside. Goes low. Did she get by? Bomber down. Its jam is still going. Pioneers have a lead jammer now. Catherine Shaw. She calls it off.
No, she wasn't in the lead, Kenny.
She was not in the lead, so this jam still goes. Let's see what happened. Time in the period has run out. We have no announcement yet. There's Joni Weston up in the rail looking back.
It looked like they were telling each other how good they both were.
And on that last play, the referee rules that there is.
Catherine Shaw's really been coming up lately, skating very, very well, jamming, blocking.
Right. There is one Midwest Pioneer point, so a timeout call here at the end of the first period. The score, Midwest Pioneers 9, Bay Bombers 7. Back to the action from the Civic Auditorium in San Jose, California. The Midwest Pioneers and the San Francisco Bay Bombers, their first meeting of the 1979 season. The Pioneers lead at 9-7. Action in the second period of play. Ken Kunzelman along with Nick Scopus to call it for you. We've got a jam going here. Bombers, Jerry Moyer sent over the rail. That means the Midwest Pioneers will have the man moving at the rear of the pack. That will be Charlie Gibson, and Bob Hine will lead the way in. Cliff Butler ducks that block. Bomber coach Cliff Butler on defense. To stop Charlie Gibson, Bob Hine back again. Butler trying to take down. Bombers the lead jammer now, Jerry Moyer, number 39. A great second effort as Moyer comes back in. Bob Hine. A block puts Moyer down. Gibson off the track, racing the clock. Butler trying to set up a point. Here comes Jerry Moyer in. And the jam time is over here. Right on the horn. The bomber jammer, Jerry Moyer, put on the rail by Bob Hine, and the reason why, there's Bob Hine, was that his jammer, Charlie Gibson, was sent over the rail by Cliff Butler. So it will remain a 9-7 game. There was no score on the play. There's Gibson getting back on the track.
Did you happen to see Joe Perez jump up off that bench? Here comes a replay of it right here. There's Gibson off the track. But Perez came in and replaced that skater. He was taking too long to get up. His possibility was hurt. Perez
Could have been
heads up, and he was on that track. You don't want to get anybody past for nothing.
Okay, back together now. Action in the second period of play. Again, we remind you that the second half of this game will be seen in our next telecast hour. So wherever you are along the network, be sure to consult your schedules. Here's Joe Perez, number 52 for the Midwest Pioneers. Out with the Bombers, Chris Rowe, a sidestep by Chris Rowe. Perez coming right back. And we got a little battle going on this jam. Perez digs in, comes back up. Shoulder block to the inside. Now Bob Hine trying to get a signal back there to his jammer. Chris Rowe moves up on Hine. A block on the outside. Perez coming up now. A shoulder by Perez. Bomber jammer Chris Rose hit over the rail. Now the Pioneers have the man to score 52.
Hines is backing off a little bit. It looks like he's going to make a rush.
Look out, here comes the move now. Bob Hine up into a double block and a takedown. Perez over the top, and he calls it off in time. So the Midwest Pioneers, as they started the first period with the women, start out the second period with the men with a big bang.
And it used to give me a devil of a time out there. We used to be going. I didn't even want to go out for the second half after a while,
There's Pioneer coach Bob Hine, number 57. They call him the Bald Eagle. If we get a shot at him sometime during the game without his helmet on, you'll see
he has a helmet on now? Oh, I didn't know that.
It's just as shiny with or without. A 12-7 game now. The Pioneers leading the Bombers by 5 full points. Bombers trying to open it up here now. Cliff Butler gets the man out. Number 34, there he is, Alvin Mallory. So the Bombers, a little break here. They need to get the man out on top. And they do. That's Alvin Mallory, number 34, moving. And right now, he's got the track to himself. The Pioneers, there you see action in the pack. Bill Grohl up front, Chris Rowe, Cliff Butler. The Pioneers unable to break a man. Mallory moving up, and the Pioneers will have number 53, veteran defenseman JoJo Stafford out. As a defensive blocker, Stafford, hard elbow on the outside to Mallory. Mallory again, the only jammer out on this play. The Bombers really put the brakes on that pack. They've got it slowed down. They're trying to help Mallory out.
Stafford's putting the wood to Mallory, too.
Right, he's got him pinned back on that rail. Look out, Bob Hine back up, block the blindside Mallory. And now here comes Cliff Butler coming out of a secondary. Butler in scoring position. Butler moving into a double block. Stafford inside, Hine outside. Now Mallory back up. We've got a double scoring possibility here. Time in this jam is running out. There's the horn. There is no score. Almost Nick Scopus, but not quite.
That's a great defensive play on the part of Stafford and Hines to stop.
Let's watch the replay again.
Here comes Butler. Now, Butler's going to build up a head of steam coming in here, too. And he gets nailed. That's awfully tough to stop, Cliff, because he's like a cannonball when he's coming in. Mallory gets up, gives him a whip. They stop him again. Now, watch Mallory. He comes back, makes another pass at them, and they stop Mallory, too.
Good defensive blocking in there by the Midwest Pioneers. There's Bomber coach Cliff Butler, number 36, as we're back to the live action.
It was fine effort with Butler and Mallory, too.
Don't forget, at halftime of this game, there will be a
good second effort.
Oh, yeah.
Back reforming for another jam now. 12-7. The score remains unchanged with the Midwest Pioneers in the lead by 5 full points over the Bay Bombers. And these Pioneers, this is the first meeting between these two clubs this season, and the Pioneers have been surprising. There's a whistle packed together.
Those uniforms should remind me of something. I can't quite pin it right down yet.
Nick Scopus, that was the last team you skated for, I believe.
Oh, that's probably what it is then.
You wore number 57. Joe Perez for the Pioneers gets a little surprise from Chris Rowe. These two battled the last time they were on a jam together, and Rowe gets the best of Perez that time.
That was a good block in there, too.
Chris Rowe, number 32.
But look at who's coming again.
Yeah, Perez moving in. On the secondary is Larry Stahl, number 35. And Stahl has caught Perez, taken him out. So that gives it all to Chris Rowe now at the rear of the pack. As he moves on, Bob Hine. Chris Rowe on the outside. Bob Hine handling defense for the Midwest Pioneers. There he is, and that's why we call him the Bald Eagle. Hine sitting and waiting. Rowe on the outside. Hine taken out by Bill Grohl. Chris Rowe calls the jam off. There is one at Bay Bomber point. Scored over Bob Hine, Pioneer coach. It is a 12-8 game. We've got a timeout called on the track. Timeout called with the score standing. The Midwest Pioneers 12, the Bay Bombers 8.
Bay Bomber fans, tonight, August 11th, the Midwest Pioneers will make their Bay Area premiere as they battle the Bay Bombers at the Oakland Auditorium Arena. Skating for the Midwest Pioneers will be Coach Bob Bald Eagle Hine, JoJo Stafford, Jim Jackson, Joe Perez, and Charlie Gibson. Women's captain J.J. Burton, Joyce Young, Kathy Shaw, and Connie Haynes. The lineup for your Bombers will be Coach Cliff Butler, men's captain Bill Grohl, Ron Turbin, women's captain Joan Weston, Judy McGuire, Carol Myers, and Dolores Tucker. Tickets on sale now at all Bass ticket outlets and at the door. That's tonight, August 11th at the Oakland Auditorium Arena. The Bay Bombers versus the Midwest Pioneers with the veteran skaters Bald Eagle Bob Hine, JoJo Stafford, and Joe Perez. Be there as the whistle sounds for the first jam to begin. That's tonight, August 11th at the Oakland Auditorium Arena. Be there.
We're back to the action. A 12-8 game. The Midwest Pioneers leading the San Francisco Bay Bombers. We are in the second period of play. A jam underway. Alvin Mallory, number 34 for the Bombers, along with Jerry Moya, number 39. Pioneers, we got blocking going on in the jam here. Look out. Alvin Mallory takes care of one Pioneer jammer. Now Whirl Gray. Worked on by Mallory as Jerry Moyer takes off with the lead here. Mallory and Whirl Gray, a big man to take down. Action at the rear of the pack now. The Bombers have the jammer, number 39, Jerry Moyer. And on defense for the Pioneers now, their coach, Bob Hine, number 57. Hine, a leg block to the outside on Jerry Moyer. Wrapping elbow block. Moyer taken out. Moyer, young rookie with the team, back on his skates. Cliff Butler back as we have a Pioneer jammer, Charlie Gibson, number 58. Look out, a takedown by Bob Hine.
And I got a holding penalty on that one.
Yeah, time of the jam.
Here goes Butler.
Butler decides to do the same thing, and there will be, I believe, a penalty on Cliff Butler also.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, Kenny, I thought they were having a very good tactical game up to that point where his tempers got out of hand there a little bit, but...
Well, I don't know. Bob Hine trying to prove a point to someone out there. Let's watch this again.
Here comes a little bit of replay. Here comes Moyer getting back up again. He's got a lot of guts. He keeps getting up, start coming in on him. Maybe that's what got Hine. Now here's where he's holding him, and he's just going to drive his head right into the track. Now Butler saw that. Now watch this. Coming out of the next third, Butler grabs a hold of Gibson and figures, well, let me see if I can screw his head into the track too.
Same way. And there were penalties called both ways on that jam. We're back to the action now. Both teams will be shorthanded. A penalty point awarded to each team. So the score advances, the margin the same. Midwest Pioneers by 4 points, 13-9. Well, I mentioned that this telecast is produced strictly for the enjoyment of our viewing audience. Any other use, reproduction, or retransmission of this game without the expressed written permission of DJL Productions and the International Roller Skating League is strictly prohibited. How about them apples?
And I think that goes for me too.
Okay, on the jam now. Bombers, the lead jammer, number 32, Chris Rowe. Number 51 for the Midwest Pioneers is Frank Apodaca. So it's 1-1 on the play. Apodaca setting the pace right now. Bombers trailing by 4 points. There's Cliff Butler in the penalty box for the Bombers. Apodaca, a rookie with the Pioneers, getting the best of Chris Rowe. So Apodaca now moving in on the rear of the pack. Bomber men's captain Bill Grohl, number 38, back to handle the defensive blocking. Apodaca moving up, elbow to the outside by Grohl. Grohl set, waiting, another hard elbow by Billy Grohl, the men's captain for the Bay Bombers.
Boy,
Apodaca trying to move in.
He does have a tough elbow block too, Billy Grohl. It's just like running into a concrete block.
Apodaca up. 15 seconds, look out, Bill Grohl ran a missed block in there by JoJo Stafford. Stafford trying to come up to assist, and he still can't get a block in on Bill Grohl. Here comes the Bomber jammer, Larry Stoll on the outside.
Fine play by Stahl.
Look out, jam is called off. There is one Bay Bomber point. Larry Stoll coming from out of nowhere.
He was flying too. JoJo was busy trying to get that jammer in for a point. He was having a tough time with Billy Grohl. Billy Grohl kept sidestepping him.
Let's watch the replay.
Here comes Stafford flying by there, throwing a jump block at him. Larry Stahl around the outside. Stafford tried to throw another block in there. Grohl sidestepped him. He picked up a point and cut it off.
Too late. Larry Stoll got by him. And Stoll really went down hard there. He's on the infield now. There you see him.
Looked like he ran into Jim Jackson, who had stopped up on the rail there.
Yeah. A 13-10 game, as there was one Bomber point. There's 1 minute left in the period. Both teams back at full strength. There you see Cliff Butler rather, back into the Bomber lineup with the pivot helmet on. Bob Hine back in there for the Pioneers. We've got under a minute in this period. So the time in this play will be abbreviated. It'll be the time on the scoreboard clock. Bombers trail by 3 points.
Number 54,
And Whirl Gray, number 54, out for the Midwest Pioneers. The Bay Bombers now have number 39, Jerry Moyer, out.
37 seconds.
Well, that's a lot of beef on that boy up in front.
Oh, Gray is a big man. Moyer is tall, but he doesn't carry near the weight that Gray does.
He looks like he's outweighed by about 40 pounds or so, 50 pounds maybe.
At the rear of the pack now, both jammers in scoring position. That's JoJo Stafford, 53, back for the Pioneers. Bill Grohl, number 38, on defense for the Bombers. 15 seconds, jam and period. Each team trying to get a jammer in to score points here. And Moyer taken out by JoJo Stafford.
Here comes the Eagle.
Yep, look out, Bob Hine coming up on a secondary here. Hine with a jammer's helmet. There are 3, 2, 1.
I think they picked up 4 points.
I think Whirl Gray got in there.
I think they both did.
Hine may have also. Let's see what they say.
And there were 2 Pioneer points picked up.
2 Pioneer points. Watch the replay.
Here's Billy Grohl blocking him out. Here comes Hine way, way back, and he's starting to make his move through. He pushed the jammer on through. I guess Hine didn't get through. Time must have run out on him.
Okay, we've got a timeout at the end of the second skating period. The Midwest Pioneers 15. The San Francisco Bay Bombers 10. We're back with the action from the Civic Auditorium in San Jose, California. The Midwest Pioneers 15, the San Francisco Bay Bombers 10. Ken Kunzelman along with Nick Skopas at trackside. We're in the third skating period, the first half of the game. And on this jam with the gals in action, the Bomber jammer, number 34, Dolores Tucker. They're doing the blocking for the Pioneers is their women's captain, number 58, J.J. Burton. Burton putting Tucker back.
JJ's doing a fine job back there, too.
Yeah, now look out, Johnny Weston could be in trouble here. Burton trying to move on the outside. Got things bunched up. Tucker trying to move on the inside. Number 52 is Catherine Shaw handling defense for the Pioneers. Burton back a block. She gets rid of the Bomber jammer but goes down herself. Burton, however, still has the advantage. And
look at the
Jody
two blockers going after each other.
Here. Weston trying to fight her way out of it. Shaw trying to tie her up. Here comes Burton on the outside. Look out, Dolores Tucker sneaking through on the inside. And I don't think Burton knows yet. It's called off. Jam called off. There's Joan Weston. Burton so busy trying to get around Weston. And Shaw so busy with the assist. Did not see Tucker come back up.
I know, Tilly put a lot of second effort into that thing. Joni was having a hassle with Catherine Shaw trying to get her off her back there. And then she picked up Burton coming around the outside and had them both in there trying to get by her. And Tilly just got up and waltzed on in for a quick single and cut it.
Door was wide open for Dolores Tucker. There was 1 Bomber point. That makes it 15-11. The Pioneers lead, but lead now by only 4 points. Might mention that announcers for this game are employed by the International Roller Skating League and are in no way affiliated with the station on which you are watching this telecast. There's Bomber women's captain, the Golden Girl, they call her out here in California, number 38, Joni Weston.
Sunday, August the 12th.
Where's the pivot helmet for the team? The pivot skater, for those who might be new out there in the audience, is the swing skater for the squad. They can move, the pivot skater can move as a jammer after the play has started, after 1 or more jammers have broken from the pack. And there's a jammer out right now for the Midwest Pioneers, number 54, Connie Haynes. The Bombers have Terry Inabnet out, and she's one of 2 gals out here tonight. Bomber uniforms on that do not have jerseys on them, so it could get confusing from time to time.
They don't have numbers on them.
That's right.
They have the jerseys on.
Here is a gal that does have the number on her jersey. That's number 37, Peanuts Meyer. She is on the chase after Connie Haynes now. At the rear of the pack. Meyer in the lead, blocked out by J.J. Burton of the Pioneers. Bombers, Joan Weston back there, working on Connie Haynes, the Pioneer jammer. And Haynes put down by Weston. And the jam is called off. Let's see, Johnny Weston pointing at something.
I think that Peanuts cut that jam off before that Pioneer jammer got in there for a score.
Weston is signaling no score, no score. And they say, officials say no. There was 1 Pioneer point scored on that play.
You know, it's awfully tough to referee this game. Here comes the repeat right. Well, we can't see Meyer, but
I believe Joyce Young, number 50, you see her on your screen right there, was by Weston.
Yep.
After a lot of confusion, we do have 1 Bay Bomber point.
Now they say there was also a Bomber point, and I guess was Johnny Weston's argument. If they got a point, then we had to get a point.
They had the secondary jammer coming through there, too. Here you come now.
That's your secondary jammer,
Yeah.
I think. And no, Meyer is the one that's going to score here.
Right, Myers up. No, Myers up in front. She hasn't passed anybody. Here, the two blockers go down, and the two jammers went on through. There was one, Terry... Inabnet, yeah. Pick up the single for the Bombers.
Okay, so it's a point each way. The margin will still be 3. In favor of the Midwest Pioneers, it's 15-12 right now.
Bombers still trail by 3 points, 15-12.
Pack reforming. Jammers get a little rest up on that rail after a jam. You see them dropping back into the pack now. And again, they have to start at the rear of the pack. They have to be behind the blockers. Pivot skaters at the front. The officials will then blow their whistle. If you can hear it in the background, that signals the play may start. There's no blocking permitted prior to that whistle. Once that whistle blows, it all breaks loose. And the first jammer to break out starts the 1-minute jam time running. Bombers have that gal, number 31, Pam Harrison. She has company right behind her, number 55, Connie Lyman. Lyman grabbing the lead. Young rookie for the Midwest Pioneers.
Boy, she is pushing it, too. Look at that. She's taking up a lead on Pam.
Jammers flying around the pack.
So each team, a jammer moving in on the rear here. Joni Weston back on defense for the Bay Bombers. And a bomber put on the rail in there. Ryan is going to be scored over. Lyman, the Pioneer jammer, sent off of the track. So now the Bombers could get points back here as they have the only jammer. Pam Harrison, number 31, at the rear of the pack, trying to score over J.J. Burton. Burton watching. We've got just a little over 10 seconds left in jam time. Pam Harrison trying to move on the outside. Pioneers have lost their jammer, but I believe that Pioneer jammer had already scored a point. Weston held up in that pack by Catherine Shaw. And time in this jam does run out.
Whoa.
Look out. Weston down on the track, waiting for the official ruling here.
Boy, J.J. put the wood on Harrison back there.
There was one Midwest Pioneer point scored on that play. We'll make it a 16-12 game. And they say...
I think it was an Abnett was put up into the rail and passed by Lyman.
There was also one bomber point. We've got a timeout called on the track now. Timeout called. The score, the Midwest Pioneers 16, the San Francisco Bay Bombers 13. The action in the third skating period. It's a 16-13 game. Midwest Pioneers leading the San Francisco Bay Bombers by 3. They're still trying to get the pack together. And now, Nick Scopus, the officials have reversed themselves here, and they've taken that bomber point away.
I don't know how they're doing that. Anyway, Joni was up there having a summit meeting with Jimmy Pierce, and I guess it didn't do any good.
I don't know. I think Weston should not have spoke when she spake.
I think that she talked after she found out that they were losing a point.
Yeah. We're under 5 minutes here in the third skating period. The first half of tonight's game along the network. You will watch the second half of this very game in our next telecast hour. Consult your local schedules to find out when that will be. Pioneer jammer number 54 now is Connie Haynes. Bombers, little Peanuts Maya, number 37.
And we got Tony Roman up here watching the game.
That's for those fans who do not know, Tony Roman is the other half of the number 37 team on the Bay Bombers and the husband of Peanuts Meyer.
He's on a mend after he had a shoulder operation. He'll be back out there pretty soon.
Look out, shoulder block by Meyer. And I don't know, Peanuts a little ticked off at Haynes, I think, here.
Boy, she had an awful lot of beef falling on her.
Look out, we've got time. Joan Weston could get it together. They've got Catherine Shaw on defense. Here's Peanuts Meyer at the